And we are live. Go ahead, Brother Gerald.
Welcome to Vocal Dialect. And we are on the panel today. We have our normal discussion, and we're glad that you have come in to join us in on this real, essential, and vital conversation. We have here our brother Ken Wado, our brother Knowledge Born 7, and also we will have General T. Shaka Sokofa that will be joining us soon. But as we get here and get started, we're gonna pass it to Kenny. He can tell you a little bit about joining and subscribing to Vocal Dialect.
Yeah. So this Vocal Dialect podcast show. We've been doing this for a while. We had the brother Gerald, Captain Gerald Moore. We also added, the brother General T. Shaka Sankofa. It's a privilege and honor, to have the brothers come kicking with us, chop it up with us every week. You know what I'm saying? To get this information out to the audience and stuff, and make sure when y'all come in, hit that like button, subscribe to the show. Also, share it to other social media platforms. So do that. So today we're gonna talk about Black love and Black relationships in our community because we need a lot of that because as I see it, there's no love in our communities. None. I grew up in the era. Yeah, it was rough, but we had love in our community. We built relationships. We used to barter with our neighbors. We got disciplined by the elders in our neighborhoods. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to that because right now it's downhill. It's downhill. Go ahead, kick it, brother Jeff. That's all I got to say. What you
Yeah,
think
what
about
we what Ken is basically touching on, we talk about the nucleus of the family. When we talk about the nucleus of the family, we talk about a father figure, a mother's figure, and also the roles of the children, whether toddlers, infants, uh, teenagers. But the significant part of the roles of the mother and the father is that they're there to teach the children, to provide for them the necessities that's needed, the provisions that's needed, all the things that helps them to mature to a factor where they can start making decisions on their own. And what we have to do as parents, which I am a parent, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather. Also, as we know, when you talk about a community, you're talking about a village, which in the village, we also play a significant role. We're helping nieces, nephews, friends, and those alike, because of the fact that it takes that community to grow with everybody playing a significant role in helping one another in order that we are able to endure, to manifest, and get the things that are needed to help the community to prosper. And as we go on and continuously doing this, it's our job as the elders and looking toward the elders to get that direction that we need. Don't take on that pompous attitude. Have that role to understand when someone is directing you, especially someone that has been experienced in life, someone that has touched on certain things, one that has endured these complicated situations like we're living in now. They are to help you, to get you through, to assist you, make sure that you make the best of your ability to be able to overcome these things that we are going up under now. The catastrophe, the turmoil, how things are called together. We having a president that we don't know whether he coming or going. We don't know whether he's going to do a terrific job or he going to do a hectic job. We know for right now, from what's being displayed and demonstrated, he's doing a hell of a hectic job. And what we looking forward to is hoping that we all can maintain to come through this crisis, which we will do because that's what we lean on each other as a family. That's what's going to make the family get to where they need to be.
Right. I agree with you, man. So, and we already know the reason why. So, how do you think it became to where we are today? No love. No love in our community, in our neighborhood.
But you know the love in our neighborhood only is dwindling, diminished, and it's not to the extent that it used to be, is because of the fact that children are growing up in the homes, the fatherless home. I mean, and then when you don't have the mother and the father in the home, and not saying that it is not impossible. We don't want people to take it though that we're denigrating those ones that are trying to do the job of a mother and with the absent father, or the father with the absent mother, because we do have both scenarios. And what we need to understand is, what we need to understand is that the fact of it is that it takes diligence, it takes fortitude, it takes resilience, it takes those particular ways of helping that person or the child to mature to the point where they're capable to make decisions on their own. Building infrastructure, building the infrastructure, and how we lost that infrastructure, as I said before, because of incarceration. We lose it because of drugs. We lose it because of those things, of the the things that are affecting our community, the afflictions, the conflicts, the controversies, the confrontations, and we can go on and on and on about what was actually ailing us as a people. But if we were, and I say this lightly, if we were to take an opportunity to look at other ethnic groups, we could see that they get along. They can congregate together. They don't come together to fight and fuss and argue, or look for ways to denigrate someone, or ways to put that person down and debase that person. They accept the person for who they are. That's the one thing that we have to learn in our community. Accept the people for who they are, because no one is above or better than anyone else. Because if you didn't, you'd be in different communities. That's the thing we have to do. It's a oneness, it's a unification. Let's create some conformity. That's how we're gonna get to where we want to be. If we don't do that, we creating our own demise, which we're doing anyway.
Right.
Because I mean, everything is, as I said, it comes full circle. But I know I didn't talk enough. I know people want to hear other people, but we're glad to have our brother Knowledge back. He'll be back fully. So we're gonna hear what his input is on these actual factors of what ailing our community.
Because before we get knocked on, I made a little whim on my head. No,
Sure.
little bit. I had something to say, y'all. No, we the highest in the homeless population. We the highest in mass incarceration. I think almost half our homes are single parent households. Come from single parent households and stuff. And that's just few things. So and then the black family. How do we look at the black family today? Is not the Huxtables, you know. What you think, brother? Knowledge?
You want to add some Knowledge?
As far as us dealing with the black family in our community, it's a lot. It's a lot of a lot that has taken place. I say it all the time. There are, but one, we robbed of real economics. We robbed of real history, real social studies, real math. So, and we are risk for a lot of health conditions. And it has to do with us being separated as far as families. The Willie Lynch syndrome has definitely taken effect as far as us as a people, and they have desensitized us where where we have allowed ourselves to not care so much about our situation and our communities. But right now, I do see a little bit incline as far as unity, just a smidget. Hopefully, that would
Why you
turn
say
into
just a smidget?
something, huh?
Why you say just a smidget?
I mean, because we doing things without a plan, and even though we're doing a few things, a lot of people have a lot of micro movements that they're doing, and I think the everything's gonna come to the young people. Now I said before, uh, Michael Brown, those are young people. What's his name? Right? Was it Rodney King? What was his name? California.
Cap Rodney King. You said it right.
Yeah, those are the young people. The young people energy is definitely what we as a people need to focus on. That's the driving force. That's the key to a lot of unification. And I say that because one, the media goes after the young people. All of these commercials is to influence the youth and to give them a sense of direction that is not a part of our agenda as a people. When you look at the media, they are guiding and directing and pushing out that vibratory frequency and putting them on a specific rhythm that is not beneficial for us as a people, one, culturally, and two, to further us as a people. It's not beneficial. No shape, form, or fashion about that. But like I say, we have a smidget. We have micro things going on that's happening. We do have people waking up. We have more knowledge and information on social media than ever. Books I used to pay for, lectures I used to pay to go to, a lot of information is right at our fingertips. We walk around with smartphones, and yet we are not utilizing what we have right before us. So, unity in the Black community, it is at an all-time low because only a civilization can go further once they start to respect the mother, the queen. So I say that because the women, they teach the youth, so on and so forth. So it's a chain effect. But so is the media going after the youth. We should be going after the youth as well, even though I know it is a hard task, mentorship and dealing with a lot of dysfunction as far as us as a people, and not just the dysfunction, but also the mental capacity of their minds as well. We have a lot of things that we have allowed in our culture that we should not be doing as well. We have taken up on our oppressors' culture, and we're really being consumed with Western European law. I mean, Western European civilization. And then on top of that, once we begin to rise up, they begin to beat us up or enforce their Western European law. But even though we have a lot going on in the community, a lot of people see hope. Some people don't see no hope. Some people have been in a community and in the revolution 50 plus years, and some people are tired. And some people have been inspired by us, and all it takes is us, each one teach one, and we move as a unit. Right here, right now, us for we're a brotherhood. I can say that because of the dialogue that we have offered her and the fellowship that we have had away from her. So no one can tell me that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't broke bread together, and so we know that the people are looking at us. They know who's unified. They know who's a real brother, who's going to be a real sister in sisterhood and a real brother in the brotherhood. We don't play no games, And that's the way we have to be, because they're not playing games. Society is not playing games. The power it be is not playing games. And I said it because they're not playing games. Now we have to deal with this political infrastructure that has been put before us. So I think that's going to pull a lot more unity together, because we're starting to realize, according to their rules of specific acts and treaties, that it's not beneficial for us, even though it's for us. So we got some things happening, and I'm just excited to see and see what happened. We got the rest of this year and 3 more years to go to really see what's going to be the outcome. But I will say this though, in the process of us doing that, we must learn how to build together. We must learn how to have businesses together, unify, and then we move further as a people.
Hey, hey, look for y'all, everyone who's on the show so far. Hit the like button as y'all come in. You call in. I think Sergeant General T. Shaka Sankofa. The number call in number is 202-417-8604. It's pinned on top of the chat comment. So call on in. Call in, y'all.
Touched on some real vital points. And welcome back, T. Shaka Sankofa, General T. Shaka Sankofa. So we're gonna turn it over to you, brothers, so you can enlighten our people that joined on the show today.
Okay, we're discussing the topic of Black unity in our communities, correct?
That's correct.
And what has to take place in order for that to transpire or manifest? Okay, you know, I always say, first of all, it's an individual thing. The unification of self first. You know, the knowledge of self, the mental detoxing, the deactivation of the Willie Lynch chip. All that has to take place, and then you can go outside of yourself and begin to impact others. Because we've you know, we have a history of a lot of intellectual dialogue, which has been to a high degree insufficient in our growth and development as a community. And so there's not, like you had just mentioned, knowledge, there's not enough people that are standing up, that are fearless, that are haven't been sold out, bought out, tricked out, drugged out, and transed out to actually make this stand. Because once again, individualism. You know, everybody wants to be unified, but they don't want to unify, because it all boils down to the set tripping and ideologies, religions, thought processes, all types of so-called spiritual practices that we engage in, that we are not willing to collaborate unless you follow, you slot yourself in a certain or peg yourself in certain slots, you know, and we're the only people that engage in that type of illness. That's a mental illness. And so that's one of the main reasons for our division in terms of us making this strong, powerful unification. And also, we cannot omit the fact that, you know, the agendas that have been set throughout centuries have been designed for us to be disunified and be disorganized and be in so many levels of disarray in terms of religious thought processes, ideologies, and spiritual practices. And so that's where, you know, these powers that we call powers that be, or the globalists, or I don't like to use the term elitist, because we are the elite, because we are the original everything. But for the sake of understanding, the globalists and the elites, you know, they know that That's the greatest threat to white genetic survival and white genetic annihilation is the unification of the black man and woman, of the black nation, of the black family, of the black community. And so when you can separate people and you can give them, sprinkle just crumbs of so-called success, so-called materialism, so-called wealth, that brings more the division, and because it all boils down to control. These globalists are not more concerned about money than they are control. If they can control the people, then they control the resources, they control the currency, they control the minds. And this is where they got us at now, on the bottom tier level, where they have our minds under control. We begin over the last 40 years to begin to be robotized, and we act like robots. And we have fallen into assimilation in terms of picking yourself up by the bootstraps. All of these illusional cliches that they use to encourage us not to succeed. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. We can win. We shall overcome. Kumbaya. No justice, no peace. See, all these cliches is a dismantling tool to keep us disassembled. And so and if you look back at what Zbigniew Brzezinski, Noam Chomsky, Henry Kissinger, Richard Nixon, Allen Dulles, who was running the CIA in the 50s, Harry Truman, when they all got together and put together this so-called King Alfred's plan, and they knew, and it's in their writings, that the greatest threat to white annihilation is the urban guerrilla, which they were talking about the youth. They were specifically talking about the youth at that time, in which they were talking about us, because it was during the 60s that they put this stuff together. So they were actually talking about when those of us who were born in the 60s and 70s, that when we were children, that that's who they targeted. And it's the same way now. They're targeting the youth now. So, nothing has changed but the direction that we're supposed to be going in. And so, these type of, and they're minute on a larger scale. When you're talking universally, when you're talking spiritually, they are extremely minute, because they know who the superpowers are, who the real superpowers are, which are the black man and the black woman. And they know they've done, and I have to take my hat off to the globalists for this amazing, phenomenal job that they have done thus far, dismantling us to the point where we begin to have this deep-seated hatred for one another. That's a hell of a plan to turn a race of people against one another. This is after that povertize them, you unemploy them, you disenfranchise them, you place them and subjugated, and low degenerative housing. You create an environment that is self-destructive. And so this is the type of reactions that you're gonna get. And this is where we at now. So every time we begin to unravel and pull the sheets and the covers off of white supremacy, they come up with another agenda that they pushing. Now they got us once again on this road to hating one white devil, two white devils, and everybody else is okay. Trump and Elon Musk are the premier devils, and all the others are just good devils. And that's a mental illness. That is a serious mental illness. You ask the average person what is going on, most black people, the first thing come out their mouth after they get up in the morning, brush their teeth, is Trump and Elon Musk. And so this is the sickness that we're dealing with. you know, and it's destroying us from the inside out, you know, because when you are dealing with certain type of mental illnesses such as that has an effect on your organs as well. You know, when people say you make me sick, actually, you know, you can incorporate so much negative energy and harbor so much negative energy that it does take a physical effect on you, and it can medically destroy you. This is why in the 60s, you know, when I was coming up, people were having what they call nervous breakdowns. You know, we went from that to now it's dementia, autism, and all these other isms and schisms that they have placed on us through so many areas. The foods that we eat, the way we talk, how they display us, you know, in sports, in entertainment, you know, the exploitation of us. So it's a lot of different things that we have to combat. But once again, back to what Brother Knowledge was saying is that, you know, we actually have to link up with those of like minds, those who are determined to stand strong, that understand what they're up against. And when the masses of our people finally, because they're looking up, they're on their knees, they're looking up in the sky, they're looking for some relief of this oppression, suppression, and depression. And we're the ones that have to take on the responsibility of being out there and being 10 toes down, and letting our young brothers, the next generation, young brothers and sisters, see Black men and women that are fearless and that are willing to lay it all out for the sake of their survival. And I was reading some stuff on DC, the prison population. The DC prison population is 97% Black, 3% white. 57% of Black inmates are in federal institutions. You got 26%, and that's 1,325 individuals that are in the local jail, which is DC jail. Out of those 1,325, there are only 9 whites. DC is now 57% white. 57% white. DC, Chocolate City, or whatever you want to call it, you know. And you know, just to sum it up, you know, the relationships that we had to develop, first of all, starts with self, family, community, and nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanna
hold
go
on.
ahead.
For those who are on this live feed, like I said once before, thanks to our General T. Shock Sankofa, you can call in now. The number is at the top the link is in the description, but the number is 202-417-8604. So call in, give us your thoughts, and hit that like button as y'all come in. Go ahead, Brother Knowledge.
I just want to speak on he mentioned self. I want to speak on the power of knowing thyself. Knowing, to me, is you being self-aware, knowing your true culture, knowing your true identity, knowing that without us as a people, there would be no Western world. Simple as that. Creators and inventors of many things. And this would essentially help with your personal growth because you can make positive decisions knowing where you come from, build better relationships. And knowing yourself, you can appreciate your strength, your weaknesses, your advantages, and your disadvantages. This will put you in a leadership position because once you start to see that, you begin to build character and you will have a greater respect for self-love overall. And not just that, but your well-being as well. So therefore, you will walk in society and you will respect your sister. You will respect your mother. You will respect each other. And when I speak about knowing thyself, I mean really getting down to knowing yourself. So you can do something simple as knowing your mother's full history, where she come from, your father's full history, where he come from. Put that thing together first, and then you build on that. Because because if you do not build on that, you're not going to build a solid foundation. And I was told by one of my one of my teachers, your foundation is your orientation. That means in order for you to have a strong foundation, you must know how to dialogue. When I mean dialogue, you must be able to present yourself in a fashion to anyone where you can break down where you come from, your civilization, where you going, what you believe in, and then standing on what you believe in, and in the face of your enemy, and not just that, in the face of someone who is envious of you as well. Because a lot of people, when you confident, especially knowing yourself, I'm confident, Ken confident, Gerald confident, Shaka, you can catch us at any given time, any given day, and we can definitely dialogue and break down to you simple science. It's just like that, because we wear red, and then we have a solid foundation. And once you have that solid foundation, you have a good character. Therefore, that's the key right there. And then once we build that, then we're gonna respect the unification. And I say this because we have to put our differences aside. We may be Christian, Muslim, Presbyterian, 5%, whatever, whatever you believe in as far as your ideology and your school of thought, as far as of any particular science. Because when you in a religion, it's just you having something that gives you that aha moment that's going to push you further to steady, and to steady learn. Because once you hear, you're going to always be a student of yourself. That's the whole thing of knowing thyself. As long as you here walking, breathing the air, you're going to be a student of yourself. So we have to take a lot of things into consideration. Brother Shaka pours his heart out. Gerald, Ken is on the front line. I'm also in the community as well. Not just that, my first coming together, meeting people in the public, I was debating. But debate and dialogue is good if it's on a positive note. I'm gonna say that again. If it's on a positive note, I will not advise anyone to be debating if it's some battle rap. That's not it. We have to build. And I say this all the time. It's building. It's constructive, not destructive. It's positive, not negative. We have to build.
Wow, that's powerful, man. Y'all brothers had made everything intrinsically important about what's important with the family, the mother, the father, the kids, and our roles, and which each role, each role that each of us play. And I heard Shaka talk about us being robotic. To a certain degree, we can be robotic. Because if all us doing something collectively, we moving as a unit, it's robotic. But if we move individually, then they have conquered what they started out. They've been diligent about it. As Shaka said, the Willie Lynch theory. The Willie Lynch theory separated all of us. It tore not only the nucleus of the family, but us as people together. Except for the ones that, as Knowledge said, ready themselves on understanding who they are. When you understand who you are, then you can understand the next person. When you got difficulties with yourself, and Shaka brings it out a lot about knowing that trauma within you, you can get, once you can deal with that, and you open-minded about it and you're truthful about it, then you can move on and you can help other people to come out of that morass. But until we do that, we're gonna stay in this sort of abyss that causes us to continue not to grow, not to be able to achieve anything, and not able to ascertain anything. But once you start actually learning, being a student, as Knowledge said, we are constant students. You'll never
Hold on
stop
one second.
learning. People,
Hold
people
on, Gerald,
think,
wait. Oh, you got a call,
Man,
brother, West Coast chairman of the Street Law Soldiers, Malik.
Oh, okay.
What's up, brother Malik? How you doing, brother, man?
How's
Thanks
it
for
going,
calling
brother
me.
Malik?
Can you hear?
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, they were let me move the phone up a little bit. Okay, you on live. You on live, you on Vokal Dialect.
Dialect family, how y'all doing?
All right,
You
how's
know,
it going,
brother
brother Malik?
Malik.
Peace.
I can't hear you guys. And I heard the general, but I can't hear you guys.
Peace, family.
I
Peace.
Shay, my brother.
You doing, brother
Hello?
Malik? Peace and power.
Yeah,
Peace and power.
they're speaking to you, brother.
I can't hear him, General. I can't hear nobody but you, General.
Well, we can hear him, Shaka. So let him.
Tell him, go
Yeah,
ahead.
they can hear you, so go ahead and speak.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you guys for having me, man. As always, another great subject matter. But and with my 2 cents, in terms of speaking of unity, I have to ride with something that the general says all the time, and that's individualism, selfishness, and greed, and that also falls under what I've heard you guys say at the start of the show. That falls under taking up the ways of the oppressor. See, because where I'm from and what I've always seen is that black folks had love for each other and we looked out for each other. And it seems like now, I mean, even after my second marriage some years ago, and I became a single black man for the first time in a while, even in trying to build a relationship, you can hear and see and feel the individualism from a lot of these sisters out here. See, it used to be, what can we do together? See, now is, what can I get from her and what can she get from me? That's not everybody, but the problem is, like the general said, the numbers are overwhelmingly high to the point that it's just out of control. And so I think that that's why, just real quick, even the way that I was raised, and I share that with people of today, they find it strange. You know, you got a mother and a father and 10 children in the house. Well, how did you guys survive, man? I don't know if I could have handled that. Well, see, the advantage that I have is that it taught me things that I really believe I probably normally would have taken for granted. See, you can't be selfish in the house with 11 other people. See, you learn how to love and be compassionate and have empathy and how to share and care and love on each other when you have that many people. And then outside the home, when the village and the community, which of course are gone now, when everybody is on the same accord, practicing those same principles that you're being taught in the house, then you get the brothers and sisters that we have on the phone listening, and of course, you four brothers. See, that's why I like being with brothers like y'all, because we about one. And unfortunately, no matter how hard we work, although we're not going to give up, it's hard to get black people to unify. Now, in closing, there's a lot of components as to why we can't unify, and y'all have even talked about that, because one of the biggest problems that we have in the non-unifying category is religion. I've traveled all over the world, all across this country, different cultures, different languages, different dress, even in the way that people eat. Black people are the only people that let religion divide them than getting together. You got my neighbors to the left, Asians. You got my neighbors to the right, Latinos. Okay? You see how I've been to both of them house for function. So I've seen the majority of Asians with the neighbor house to the left, the Latinos to the right. In none of those gatherings, brothers and sisters, Did anybody talk about religion, or did the religion get in the way? The zip code, the area code, the tax bracket, they always were united under the fact that they were Latinos or they were Asians. And the last thing I want to say is they always stick together. When I got this house just over 3 years ago, the Mexicans to the right, that house was empty, brand new, empty. I remember meeting the original family because I helped them do a lot of paperwork to get a lot of things in their home. It was a mother, the father, and their 2 children. Now it's 3 or 4 families in that whole house. Everybody get up and go to work. Everybody got a car. Everybody chip in to do their part. And in closing, guess what, brothers and sisters? 2 or 3 families then came up out of that house to buy their own houses because they unified. They feed each other. Okay, they look out for each other. They love each other. And when the shit hit the fan, they right there for each other. But I guarantee you, brother, the number one problems in this country with black people, everybody is too individualized, and too many of us, overwhelmingly, are more about looking out for themselves than looking out for their people. We do it every day. I heard somebody on this phone say earlier about, that was Brother Knowledge Born 7, say how we do this every day. So you can do both. See, I can run my house, be retired, buy this house, open it up to start the Rites of Passage program, connect with my niece, get the camper, still go out and feed the homeless and all of that stuff, still be part of nonprofit organizations, still be a part of pro-black organizations like the Street Law Soldiers. But you have to be wanting to do that, and you have to have that mindset. But again, we are the most unorganized, ununified people in this entire country. And I don't say that with pride. I say it with a lot of shame because everything comes from us, to the point that now when people are doing it, the youngsters, like the 3 in my home, thinking that we're copying off of them, whereas I'm unlearning and reteaching them that everything they doing comes from us. We just got away from it. So individualism, I think, is the number one problem for black people in this country. And ask yourself, I wrote an article about it today, and I think I tagged the general on it, where 7 more white men became billionaires, Arnold Schwarzenegger being one of them. How much money, how much of materialistic things do you need? Well, why is that important, Brother Malik? Because black people have to get out of that mindset. You're not taking any of it with you. So share it. Share it. If I hit the lottery right now, everybody I know is going to get broken off. Because at the end of the day, my kids, my grandkids, whatever siblings are still around, they're not putting none of that shit in the casket to go down there in the ground. Individualism, brothers and sisters. Another great show, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. And thank you for letting me have a voice to be allowed to call in and give you guys my 2 cents. Love you, brothers, man. Peace, love, and light.
Peace, brother. Peace, brother Malik. I do want to say this. I think for my age group, and moving up, we had a lot of pride. I think that was one of the key things to unify us. And during that time, we had a lot of soulful music. That was key to keeping us together as a family. But right now, it's pain that's somewhat trying to unify us. That's the only time we ever only unify us through pain. And that's doing funerals or things that are tragic, which Shaka talks about building up a strong trauma and dealing with the mental state of your mind, which is bad for you. Sometimes we slightly unify with success if we feel like we have made it. But that is an illusion, because once you get to a certain point, or you get pulled over by the police, you know you ain't made it. You know what I'm saying? This is just a hindrance, a small hindrance, because you feel like you made it to a particular level. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to Brother Malik. Go ahead, Shaka.
I was just listening.
Oh, okay. We at the hold on one second. We at the 45-minute mark. At the 50 mark, I want you guys to go ahead and give your your final words. So we're at the 45-minute mark. I'll let y'all know when to get to the 50 mark. You guys can go ahead and give your final words and everything.
One point that I wanted to touch on also is what you were talking about, illusion, the illusion,
Yeah.
and which goes back several hundred years. When you go back to our ancestors who were on those plantations, the ones that wore masters' old clothes that stood on the porch, and the overseers, the ones who actually got strips of bacon for being good and buttered biscuits, they were under the illusion that they were actually free.
Mm.
They were under the illusion that that was freedom for them. And see, it's the same way now, but it's just more on a larger economic scale. That you have these so-called millionaires. I'm the goat of this, and you know, I'm a boss, a bitch, and I'm a real nigga, and all this type of stuff. I'm getting that bag, and you know, I stay perked up to, you know, and doing all, and see, that's freedom for them, and that's just an illusion. Anything that is given to you that can't be taken back. It's just an illusion. It's just another play being ran on you, and you're being used. We need to understand the motives why we're being used. We need to understand the motives why certain people are given these trinkets. And I'm speaking about those who are receiving the trinkets. And so, and if we're not careful, and the masses of our people, it plays into their psyche too, because they begin to have this feeling of low self-worth and low self-esteem because they don't feel worthy enough or think they are deserving to have anything. And this is that's part of this whole trap. But for those who are thinking outside of that box, they understand what true freedom could possibly be, because none of us know what it is. Actually, none of us know. We can only imagine, and we only can keep digging in the tunnel looking for that opening of freedom, you know. But it's once again, it starts in the mind. It starts in the mind, you know, and we have to stay on code. We have to actually stay on code 24/7. But another form of the illusion, in closing, is the charlatans who have the information that take out people on these rides, pretending that they're leading them to freedom in exchange for materialism. And they're the major players and partakers in our destruction. A lot of us don't want to accept that. A lot of our people don't want to deal with that. Those who talk this conscious shit, you know, those who stand up, they got all the regalia on, and they wrote all these books, and they building this, and they doing this, and they doing that. This is just an illusion to a road to destruction, to another level of captivity. You know, so when they see those who are rebels, who are insurrectionists, you know, who are actual freedom fighters, who are looking generations ahead, you know, those are the threats. Those are the people throughout history that have been annihilated, exiled, incarcerated, smeared upon, and murdered. You know, we got to be totally clear about that. You know, these missions and these journeys that we're on, this is not something that you chose to do. You know, we were all divinely chosen to take on this challenge of fighting the forces of evil. We have to really know this, not just understand and understand it. We have to know this. And we also got to know, the consequences on what constitute manhood, womanhood, standing on business of future generations, because the Black family, the average Black family leaves zero, I'm talking about zero wealth for the next generation. The average Black family leaves zero wealth, $0 and 0 cents for the next generations. Most of us pass away because we nothing was handed down. We came through generational poverty. But if you look in today's society, most of us, when we ascend into that ancestral realm, most of the times we only have enough in terms of insurance policies and savings just to lay us down with a decent home going and a decent send off and a repast. There's nothing. Everything else is just pennies to the dollar that's left for the future generations that they got to continue to start like we started, out of the mud.
All right, family. We at the when we passed the 50-minute mark. You guys go ahead and give your final
Let me
thoughts.
Let me give a shout out, brother, brother, not to the people who tuned in,
Yes,
showing
sir.
us
Yes,
love.
sir.
There's always showing love back. We know who you are. See, of course, the brother Malik. We got our nod expressions. We got the sister Netta Bees. What up, Netta B? We got the brother Wilbur Harris, always in. We got the brother Christopher DeWitt. These street law soldiers, y'all. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
We got Rob MC in. How you doing, brother? Peace and power to you. Love you. Mother Earth came on through. You know we love you, sister. Yeah, so
Peace, Mother Earth. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so love. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace,
Thanks
everybody.
for supporting us. Yeah, yeah.
Call in next time.
Yeah, call in. Call in. All of y'all, call in next time. Go ahead, brother Jill.
Okay, for my closing remarks, I don't think I could do is piggyback off of Shock and them, because I think everything has been said magnificently. I mean, been put as passionate as you possibly can be about what's affecting us, what's going to help us, and what's going to bring us together. And the only thing that we got to do is take a look at the things that they mentioned. In prison, mass incarceration. We talk about broken family homes, where the where the father's not in the home, drug abuse, uh, uh, so many other things that's ailing us as a people. But the one thing is that, as they say, those are all things put there, designed to put there systematically to separate us, to keep us docile, to keep us where we can't reach each other or even the goals that we set forth. Because a plan is only as structured as the people that stand behind that plan. But if there is no plan, there is no structure, there isn't anything else. As they say, nothing brings nothing. I don't care how you put it together or how you want to add it. So my thing would be is that everything that was said tonight, I hope we go away tonight with this on our mind, to think about what we possibly can do, what role we can play that's going to be beneficial to the people that we come in contact with and with our family members and others in the community.
All right. As well, we running on up to the end, man. This was a good show. We Vocal Dialect. We're here to uplift, empower, inspire, and love the people in our community. That's where we're all about, for real, y'all. You can find us on Vocal Dialect on IG, Check us out. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Facebook as well. And also tune in. Follow the General Shaka Senko Facebook page in the evenings. In the evenings between 8 and 8:30 p.m. usually. So follow the brother T Shaka Sankofa Facebook page. When the next time you coming on, General?
Tomorrow night, 7:30, straight up fire.
Straight fight, raw and uncut, y'all. Leave. Right
Oh,
now.
I just want to say, family, rise in power, and our legacy is our strength. And I say that by you should definitely know thyself, do for self, and think for self, and know that as long as you here walking this earth, you will continue to be a student of yourself, and know that you are the captain of your ship. Your future is yours, whatever you make out of it. And stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Educate yourself. Educate yourself on history. Educate yourself on science. I tell any Black person, African American, really dive into the subject of why you copper and why you brown, and you will see how great and magnificent you are. This is Vocal Dialect, family, man. We love y'all, man. If we didn't, we wouldn't be here wasting our time. I'm saying that comically. We're not wasting our time, but we thank y'all for checking us out. Much love to the general, much love to Gerald, much love to my partner in crime, Kenwato Akil, and I'm Knowledge Born 7. We say peace, family.
Peace, peace, peace.